Hey people, what's going on? Welcome to Real Tough Talk. Tough Talk.
How is that even possible?
Tough Talk.
Whoa! Stephen J. partner goes,
Show some respect. You did not answer the question.
he's a bad man.
Bad man.
He's a bad. He finally said it.
The slipper's gone. The dress has holes in it. The cart turned to Tuff pumpkin again. So what else you gonna do?
I guess this team couldn't cover a twin mattress with a king size sheet.
Lights out season.
Lights out for you. Let's get as quick into the game as possible because I am not staying in this wig longer than I have to.
I want to part. Play it out, bro. While you talking this game.
Thank you for joining us, people. I'm so excited to have you here with us today. I want to welcome you to another episode of Real Tough Talk. I'm Stephen J. I'm here with my partner, Ghost, and we're excited to get to the next week in this UFL season. A little bit of short week, only 3 games, but it's still exciting UFL style.
The amount of games doesn't change how competitive the games are. So at the end of the day, we're still excited to see the games. We're still excited to see the players come out and give it their all. A lot of games, even though there was 3-game week, these games are very important to certain teams, some more than others. So we're excited to see the outcome of all of them.
All right, so we're going to jump right into the first game we want to talk about, and that's Rep City versus Don't Sleep. Now, Rep City's coming in off of a loss to 99, as Don't Sleep are coming in off of a loss to Blackout. Both of these teams are really desperate, looking for their first win. The crazy part and ironic part about it is Rep City is the defending champs, and they're kind of on the same pace as they were last season.
They're at the same pace, but that doesn't mean that one season may be the same as the other. At the last season, they went through the bottom of the barrel, and then they turned it up on the playoffs. One thing that I say that D-Boy, they're one of their captains on their team, always says is, always fear them in the playoffs. They're gonna come and bring their best in the playoffs, and they show that more times than not. So at the end of the day, yes, I get what he's saying, but you gotta kind of look at the way they're playing now and be a little bit disappointed or a little bit worried about their progress so far.
And on the other side, you have Don't Sleep, who are, they were a team that everybody expected to take off. In the beginning, they came off you would think like a championship high off of winning EHS. So I think they kind of slept on the first game, and now they lost their last 2 games.
Yeah.
So now you don't got the first game saying, we wasn't ready, championship, let down, basically we put our head down because we just won a championship. So this is a must-win game for them. And it's not only a must-win game. You have to show the type of team they are, the way they play this game. Reem has been the guy that they brought in to bring up the pace and change their style that they're gone from last season. But the only problem I have is their offense is still struggling, and they're 0-2. So, was it a bust? Was it a bad signing? Is the UFL too much for them? We're all going to see in this game.
Well, the thing about this team is I wouldn't say that they're a team that everybody feared last season, the regular season. They weren't one of the top teams. Let's just say that. I'm just going to say that right out the bat. But they made it to the Final Four last season. So at the end of the day, they're another team that turns it up towards into the playoffs. So this play right here, you have to take it a little bit more seriously in the regular season because they have a lot of different players. They have a new quarterback. So they're a different structured team. So you got to see the way they play in the regular season and see if it will reflect in the playoffs. That's in the future.
All right, we're going to jump right into the game. Game is going to get here late, so Mike is going to get the start for Don't Sleep. Mike is going to get blitzed by Steve-O, who's blocked by Macho. He's going to throw to Khalil in the gap. Off target, almost picked off by Matt. Matt is Rep City's A player. He's finally here at his first game of the season. Second down, Mike throws to Juju in the gap for a decent game, picking up the first down. After a few plays, you're going to have Mike get sacked by JJ. This is a big sack for Rep City, trying to really show they have a pulse this season, and that's going to be a huge part on that big sack there. Third down, Mike throws deep to Heck, cutting in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, the defense is playing man, but D-Boy doesn't go with Heck and leaves Heck open. A lot of guys underestimate Heck. He's just a ball giver, but sometimes he shows the ability to play upper positions. This is one of their plays that he did it. Great play by him and good throw by Mike.
And I'm going to look at the screen and talk to Heck directly and tell him, you better have caught that ball. You had another deep pass thrown to you prior that you weren't able to get, so they gave you another chance. You had to catch that ball. Fortunately for him, he was able to. He got open. That's disappointing if your Rep City defense letting someone like Hector, not to say anything bad about him, but he's not there for one of their offensive threats, and he's burning you downfield. That is not a good look in the first start of the game.
But he's not going to make it on time, so Matt is going to get the start. Matt is a guy who throws for Unholy, so he has the ability to throw the football. Matt is going to get sacked by Hector on 4 rush, and Hector just caught a touchdown, and now he comes away with a sack. This is what the guy is showing. He can do everything, but this is his main position. Big sack by him there. Second down, Matt goes deep to A-Rod, open near the sideline. He can't get to it, incomplete. Fourth down at the 35-yard line. Matt on 4 rush scrambles and throws a Seamus on the sideline high, picked off by Chris. Don't Sleep gets the ball back. And listen, a lot of people underestimate Chris' size. The guy is physical. You know what I mean? He's always going to give you everything he got. He's able to make a big play, and that was a big mistake by Matt. Don't Sleep gets the ball back. Reem is now here. He's here back for this offense, so now he's in the game. After getting the first down, Reem on 4 rush is sacked by Steve-O just before the throw. And this is what you got to do. You want to bring pressure. Don't want to let him get out that pocket and scramble. That is a big stop there by Steve-O. Third down, Reem a blocker from Rob. Throws deep to Mike, who beats Steve in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Steve gets beat on the sideline. That is 12-0. Don't Sleep. And this is why they brought Reem. No disrespect to KC, but this is what makes Reem different. When I say pedal to the metal, that is what they're doing. And Mike is a guy, we see him throw a touchdown. Now we see him catch a touchdown. This guy is definitely getting his contract worth. He's showing that he can do it on multiple sides of the ball, and they get to take a 12-0 lead.
Mike is putting up numbers where however he can, and Reem coming into this drive is able to find him for the score. That is the way that you connect right when you come on the field and able to get your first scores right when it gets there.
So right now we got a 12-0 lead, Don't Sleep. After getting the first down, Hood is here now. Hood is going to throw the A-Rod on the sideline for a decent game. Second down, Hood throws the Seamus on the sideline, getting to the 3-yard line. Third and goal, Hood is going to find Rel in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. 12-6, it's trying to creep back in the game. And I always said, in order for Rep City to be successful, like I always say, Rel has to be the cog. He has to be that gear that gets everything moving. Sometimes he does not play on that level. We've seen him play on that level in the championship game, which was won him not only a championship, but a championship MVP. We see him getting involved here. That is a big play. This is why they need Hood here. Great throw by him. They're getting back in this game. We'll see if he's going to get the ball and go 4-out here. Fiend on 4 rush. Throws to Rob in the gap with a nice block by Mike. Rob runs into the end zone for the touchdown. 18-6. If you look here, Rep City rush 2, leaving nobody to guard Rob. And because of Reem's scrambling ability, they have to send 2 guys. That's the difference between him and KC. Reem can move, and this is why how it hurts you though, because once you send an extra help, you have one-on-one, and Reem is going to make you pay. This team is very dangerous. Great play by them. 18-6. Rep City gets the ball. Hood is blitzed and sacked by Rob. Rob is doing it all over, similar to the way Mike is doing it all over. Hood with 2 passes to get to the 30-yard line with 7 seconds left. Last play of the half. Hood is going to throw it up. It's going to be picked up by Naquan, taking us into the half. 18-6. Don't Sleep is running away with this one.
And the thing about this that we didn't mention, if you look at this play, and we saw it on the replay here, Mike is having a huge game. You already mentioned that he got a touchdown throwing the ball and catching the ball. but we didn't mention about this big block that Mike gets to get Rob into the end zone. This man is doing whatever he has to on offense to get them into the end zone. Throwing the ball, catching the ball, leading block to get them in the end zone. This was his hat. And they fed off of that on defense as well, putting pressure on this Rep City team, only keeping them from getting more than one score. They are in a good rhythm right now. If they're able to play defense and keep Hood under pressure, I believe that they have a good chance to come away with the win.
If I'm Rep City, listen, at the end of the day, we dug ourselves into a hole. We had the ball 3 times, we threw 2 interceptions, we scored once. But Don't Sleep was able to score on every possession. No bueno. It's not going to work. We got to get this together. And again, we are taking a chance of going down as one of the worst UFL champions of all time. And we don't want that on our record. Now, obviously, we are more of a playoff team, but now teams are just disrespecting us. They got other quarterbacks starting. Mike is not really known as a quarterback. He's scoring on us. Then Reem comes in. He scores on us. We got to get our mojo back and our toughness. We miss Akon because at the end of the day, we know what we are with Akon. We know how to keep it all calm, keep it all together. I think Hood is more familiar with this offense and he could put up more points than Akon did. But when it comes to the fun factor, just to be casual, just to know that everything's going to be all right, we don't have that right now this season. And our record and our play is reflecting that. We're going to jump right into the second half. Hood is going to be blitzed and sacked by Rob. Rob is playing great. Got to get that man his love. After getting the first down, Hood throws a mat in the gap for a decent game. Second down, Hood with a quick pass to Rel, getting him to the 15-yard line. 4th and goal. Hood on 4 rush. Those are Uber in the front of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away. Rob is going to bring that pressure because if you look here, A-Rob is wide open. But because of the pressure, Hood doesn't have time. He's going to get stopped.
And just like I mentioned in the first half, that's exactly what they were planning on doing, and that's exactly what they're doing here. Rob has a sack on 2 of the last drives on defense. So that's the way that they're catching Hood surprise, putting him under pressure, not knowing where the pressure's coming from, and that way he's not able to get his throws out the way he wants to, and they get yet another stop here.
Don't Sleep is not able to get anything, and they're going to have to punt. Hood gets the ball back. He's going to throw the A-Route on the sideline for a nice game, picking up a first down. Then Hood with 2 passes in the gap, getting to the 7-yard line. Third down, Hood with a quick pass to Rel on the sideline, but he's tagged at the 1-yard line by Mike. Mike has been playing great. They better give him a game ball because he's been all over the field. 4th and goal. Hood is going to roll left, throw it around the front of the end zone. Khalil hits a hand in, knocked away, turnover on downs. Khalil has to be labeled as one of the best safeties in the league. The guy's size and ability to break up plays and locate the ball is what makes him dangerous and takes his Don't Sleep team to the next level. I know I called them the puppies other than the wolves. They look like they're getting the wolf mentality back. Got to give shouts to Maine because they look like a different defense this week. Come on with that big stop. Don't Sleep hits the ball. They can't move the ball and they're going to have to punt. And Maine gets ejected for cursing. I think that's his first ejection of the season, but he's going to get ejected. Rep City's going to get the ball. Hood with 2 passes, getting him to the 30-yard line. 4th down. Hood throws it up to Rel in the corner. Rel is hit by Khalil during the catch. The pass is dropped. Turnover 1 downs. Don't Sleep comes away with the win. 18-6. Rel got hit hard. Khalil with the great hit, and you already know how it goes.
He does. He does.
And that's exactly how Khalil brung it. Definitely great hit. Ending the game. Had to say that because that was a hit.
Yes.
Now you can go ahead.
And the thing about this is, I was going to say something negative about Don't Sleep, letting themselves be forced to punt 2 drives in a row, not really putting away the game. But at the end of the day, I was going to say that, but I'll take it back because they made sure that their defense stood on the field and let them shut down the game because that's exactly what they did. They kept Rep City to 6 points. At the end of the day, this is a good win. It shows that their defense can lock up. I guess they heard your criticism calling them puppies or whatnot, not wolves. So they step up and made sure that Rep City couldn't get nothing done beyond that 1 touchdown that they got. That's a win that they needed, and they got it. Especially on offense, you see Mike having a huge day. This is what they need from this team. Guys to step up and make it seem like they have to win the game for their team, and that's exactly what happened here. Good win for Don't Sleep.
Get on both teams real quick. That's a great win for Don't Sleep. You're right, but I'm not starting no parade yet. I'm not. Calm down with the marching band, with the pom-poms. Calm down. Because this
I
team,
just said good win. That's it.
this team is still 12th in scoring.
Okay.
12th. They scoring 11 points a game in 3 games, if you average it out. So we're not going to sit down. Their efficiency, they scored 31% of the time. That is 12th in the UFL. Only 2 other teams have a lower scoring efficiency than Don't Sleep. So we're not going to start the marching bands and all that. But this is a great way to get it started. I give you that. That is absolutely right. And it starts with Reed. He got here late, but my issue with them is, he threw 2 touchdown passes. But my concern is the second half, they punted twice. I don't understand that. You put up 3 scores in the beginning of the game, and in the second half, you punted twice. That got to be a concern, especially if you're still getting used to the rules, you're still getting used to the league. You got to be better than that. Their defense played good, not going to lie. But Rep City is 13th in scoring. Only Braulio scores less. So we're not going to sit down and say that the defense is playing unbelievable. Now, they are 3rd in sacks. I give it something that they led the league in last year. Now they're 3rd. So you got to give it that, and they're 4th in interceptions. So they're trying to get the defense better. But they just got to be more efficient. They give up 50% on offense. So half the time they're on defense, they give up points. So those are the things I got to get better. But I like what I saw today, especially when they had 2 interceptions. I like that. Got to give them their love. I think Reed can get better. I think he's getting used to it after coming off of a shutout. You've seen him play well against Blackout. Now you see him play well against Rep City. Definitely got to get a guy's love. He's been playing well. Now, Rep City, listen. We seen Matt here today. I didn't know he was really here. I saw him throw an interception. Then, that's pretty much his highlight of the day. Something negative. Now, don't get me wrong. He had a broken nose. So I think he played a little timid. He's coming off of a broken nose, I believe. So I think he played a little timid. But he was a nice pick for a reason. And he was made to help these guys get to the next level. And I only seen them score 6 points. That's not the next level. I seen this team have the ball 6 times and score once. 1 for 6. They got to get better. I think Hood is starting to come into his own. But they got to find a way to put up points. Like I said, this team is 13th in scoring. They average 10 points a game. It's not going to work in the UFL. They score 31% of the time, 31.2. That's their efficiency. So every time they step on the field, they only score 31% of the time. That's terrible. They got to get better. They got to get better. I trust their defense. I know their defense is going to play better. Right now, their defense is 9th in scoring. They give up 21 points a game. And teams are scoring 60% of the time when they're on the field. So that guys will get better, but I believe in their defense. The defense carried them in the playoffs last season and won them a championship. But this offense got to get better, and Matt has to be more involved in this team. I don't hear nothing about Debo this season. I don't hear nothing about Seamus this season. Those are the 2 guys that help carry this team. Rel has to be the best player. I'm tired of seeing him playing so inconsistent. He's still with the inconsistency, and it's so frustrating for me. Go ahead.
I mean, there's a lot of things that's missing on this Rep City team. First of all, I believe this is D-Boy's 2nd game here. He missed their last game. You have B-Dot still on the sideline, so there's no protection.
Yeah, he's out with a concussion.
So, hopefully he'll be back next week. Then they haven't had Meach in yet another game that he hasn't been here this season. So that's another defender.
Yeah, his son
that
is
they
playing
don't have.
football. His son is playing football. Go ahead.
Yes. So, he hasn't been able to be here. I believe that they do miss Wesley from that last game that
Yes.
they played because
He's
he's
their only
another
deep
big
threat.
weapon.
Yeah,
What was that? Oh,
he's their top deep threat.
yes. So that's another weapon that Hood probably missed. And then on top of that, you factor in this game in particular, they got stopped 3 times in the red zone, 3 times in a row in the second half. You're not going to win like that. So Hood was able to put up points in that last game against 99, played great, lost by 1 point. Wasn't his fault. This game, Hood got to pay more attention to the pocket. He got to find more receivers out there. He got to control the offense the way he needs to. He got to span the field a little bit more because them getting to the red zone and not scoring, they were calling him predictable. And when you watch the game, that's exactly what it was. So you got to have, first of all, the time is a factor because in the last couple drives, he was throwing it quick, and the defenders were there. That's because he's worried about the pressure. So they need somebody to step up and give him a little bit more time. But
They
ultimately,
need that back. They need that
yes.
back.
Yes.
B-Dot gotta get back.
So hopefully B-Dot comes back and he's able to give Hood some more protection because that's exactly what they need. If they're able to fix their offense, I think that they have a chance to recover later on in the season, especially the next game. But for right now, I believe that they're in trouble.
All right, we're gonna wrap this one up. Don't Sleep comes away with the win over Rep City 18-6. We'll be right back.
4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
What's going on in a world filled with pain? Where's the love for which we pray? What's going on when our children can't play? Homeless can't eat, there's gotta be a better way. When we politically blind, can't see the signs of endangered times. What's going on?
Tell me what's going on in the world today. I'd rather be dead than turn my head away. We got a first world vision to come to lift our hands in the air and cry for us. Father, everybody thinks we're wrong.
Oh, but who are they to judge us? Together we can all be
All right, people, welcome back. I hope you like that little slight preview. That's our guy Trev. Known to play with the Browns this season in UFL. He's playing with 99. Definitely wanted to show his talent. That is a very popular song. We all know about the What's Going On song. But I have to give love to that man. Definitely representing us, the people, with that song, that clip. And I want to give a shout out to him and all the people that helped put that little snippet together.
I mean, music like that is much needed in times like we're dealing with here for multiple reasons. So, shout out to him for making songs like that people can listen and vibe to. That's much needed and just shows how multi-talented this man really is. And I have to give him his respect that, it's really nice to hear something like that from a guy that we know from one thing to show that he's talented something else completely different is very inspiring, I would say.
Yeah, and we got a lot of talented people. Everybody know about Fresher, Herbie that plays with the Sharks. We've heard his music. His one of his songs was on our intro. So we got a lot of, talent other than just football. Always, guys, if y'all send us some stuff, we'll try to play it the best we can. We say leave the curses and stuff out.
Yeah.
And then we're able to throw it in there. So much love to Trev. We have to show him some love. We're gonna jump into the next game, which is UTF versus Gators. Now, this Gators team has been very, very different since opening day. But they're doing their best to compete. This game, they're only going to have 7 guys. And one of the 7 is their quarterback. 3-time guy. The guy went to 3 championships. A guy who's, I believe, second in or top 3 in all-time touchdown passes. Reggie, and he's here. So he showed that he's really committed to this team, even though they were shorthanded. Got to get this man his props. He's definitely up in age. He's definitely still playing this game in Beverly Elite. have to give him his props. What's going on with this Gators team?
I believe lack of consistency and firepower. I would say that's the main two things. They have a lot of talented players, individual players, but I don't think that it comes together in a strong enough package that you would say, you know what, this team can hurt us. You know, this team has this. Oh, I got to single out this guy. That guy's good. You know, they have players, but they don't have one guy or a couple of guys that can bring pause to a defense or to the opposing team. So I think that that's one thing that's hurting them. You know, Reggie's playing. He has one good game. The last game he played, not so much. The Raiders held them to no points. So inconsistency is a problem for this team. Is it because of the talent level? It could be, but it's also because, you know, they don't have a firm game plan. You know, their offense is all over the place. And I believe that they also miss Rico, who hasn't been able to be here in the last game. So they really miss him. He will not be here in this game as well. So they really miss not only his talent, but his leadership, mojo, swagger, you know, a way to show control. I would say, like when he's on the field, he brings control to the team. He has a game plan. He can have some people focused on what they need to do. They don't have that when Rico's not here. So they have to gather that and say it's the next man up. Hopefully they'll be able to do that in this game because this game is important to them.
And UTF has been one of the most exciting teams in the league, led by Jeremy, a guy who wasn't even drafted, an undrafted A player who plays a quarterback position for UTF. And he's making you forget about Ramsey. I don't think he's playing better than Ramsey, but he's definitely have this team more exciting than Ramsey did. With his ability to run, throw, and we saw him make a big play at the ball giver position. His ability to do so much. It makes you forget that this team actually drafted Corey as their quarterback. So I think this team is definitely something to deal with. They're coming off of a win to Never Scared, and they're undefeated. And they're definitely a team to be reckoned with in the UFL, especially in the Eastern Conference. And we're going to jump into the game with UCF getting the ball. Second down, Jeremy throws to Brown in the gap. Nice game, picking up a first down. Brown is back. YMM guy, dealt with an Achilles injury, and he's definitely back. Good to have him on the field. Third down, Jeremy on 4 rush. Runs on the sideline, getting to the 4-yard line. 4th and goal, Jeremy is blitzed by Prodigy, was blocked by Frankie. Jeremy finds Ricky cutting in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Randy gets the 2-point conversion. 8-0, UTF scores.
The thing about Jeremy is, again, I already said it, he's a person that can run, he can scramble, he can get through the blitz, especially when he has a blocker. So he's one person, as long as he's able to extend the play, he is dangerous, and because of that, he's able to find Ricky here. And Jeremy's able to find whoever's on the field. You run a route properly, he's going to get you the ball. That's exactly what happened. I believe this is Ricky's 2nd touchdown of the season. So he's spreading the ball out as much as possible and getting these guys into the end zone.
Reggie's going to get the ball. 2 passes in the gap, getting to the 5-yard line. 4th and goal. Reggie throws a Flacco in the back of the end zone. The pass is behind him, incomplete, turnover on down. Reggie is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the game. He tends to let balls go too much sometimes, and he misses opportunities. This is a big miss, especially when he drove the team down the field to score, and they're going to get stopped in the red zone.
And this is not an opportunity you want to lose. This is a must needed game, and UTF just came off of scoring 5 touchdowns in that last game. So this may be a shootout. So you have to compete with them on offense, and giving away the first drive, turning over the ball is not a good look for them in the beginning of the game.
After a short pass in the gap, Germany is flagged for cursing, and they're going to move back. And that is going to end up, they're going to struggle after that, moving the ball, and they're going to have to punt. And I think that's the other thing about Jeremy at quarterback. He gets frustrated. First of all, their blocking has been terrible this season.
Yes.
And he's been getting frustrated with what's going on with the offense. And this is what he can't afford to do. That cursing is what stalled this drive. And they're going to end up punting. That's the only thing that you're going to get between Jeremy and Corey. Corey's not cursing. He's not getting these flags. But once in a while, especially with Jeremy at the quarterback position, when he's responsible for so much, He may lose it, and he did here, and they're gonna have to punt.
And the thing about things like this with UTF, one thing about Jeremy as a quarterback, he's very particular with the instructions he gives his receivers. Sometimes that's what causes plays like this. When they're not often in sync, Jeremy lets them have it. Unfortunately, it backfires and it causes them to be forced to punt here.
Second down, Reggie's gonna throw the nut in the middle. Pass is short, picked off by Black. UTF gets the ball back, and we've seen Reggie on 2 back-to-back drives be inaccurate and miss some big throws with guys who's open. This one causes a turnover. Big mistake by Reggie. I like this guy, Black. He's a playmaker. He definitely brings energy. He's coming out of that Wyman brand. He gives UTF the ball back.
The thing about this play here with Reggie is none is wide open in the middle of the field. This is a throw that could have been led to a touchdown, but because the ball is underthrown, it is inaccurate, and it gives Black the opportunity to make a play on it, and that's exactly what he does.
Well, Jeremy gets the ball, and he's going to throw to Black with one on for that pick, cutting in the gap. Nice game, picking up the first down. Third down, Jeremy on 4 rush with blocking from Kaka. Runs in the gap. He's going to shake G-Black. He got him there. Shake Sesso, former teammate, as he runs into the end zone for the touchdown. 14-0. Prodigy goes crazy. He thinks he was held during the play. Tell me what you saw on this.
Now, first of all, I'm gonna show you the moves that this man Jeremy was able to make in this play. As he gets downfield in this play here, you see G Black cut in, and Jeremy moves right at the drop of a dime. He's cutting inside. G Black misses the tag here, and if you look at the last second, Cecil go to make a move, and Jeremy cuts again right at that second, making Cecil miss to get into the end zone. Not too many quarterbacks can do that. Not too many players can do that, but Jeremy's able to do that easily and able to get into the end zone. Now, about what Prodigy was arguing about, I believe that the play here that he's arguing about is Brown. He believes that Brown held him on this play here as he was running to make the tag. Now, it looks like there's contact by Brown, but looking from the angle I have, it's hard to see if it was a genuine hold or it's just either they got locked up. Like I said, I'm zooming it in. You can be the judge of this play here, but it's hard for me to see enough contact to merit a hold. Did he get there? Did he make contact? Yes. Is it a hold? It's hard for me to say. I'm not a ref on the field. So at the end of the day, whatever happens, Jeremy was able to make those moves. They were supposed to be able to make the tag and stop from running into the end zone. That's not good defense if you're missing tags like that.
Gators can't score before the half, and that's going to take us into the halftime with UTF up 14-0.
And if you look at this score, I believe this is the exact score that the Raiders beat them the whole game, 14-0. They already have that in the half. So the Gators are in trouble. They have to score coming right out of the half. They have to find some life in the second half by putting up points. Their offense has been looking weak, and because of that, that's why they've been struggling. Their offense, in my opinion, should be the name of their game, and it's not in the last 2 games. So they have to come out striking. They have to score in the first drive of the game if possible, because if not, the chances of them winning this game are slim to none, in my opinion.
UTF is showing that they're going to be a very dangerous team. They just got to show that they could not only put games away, but they can stay on the course, because at times you see them go off course and allow teams to get back into the game. Now, you already got one cursing flag. You don't want to get a player ejected. Gators shouldn't be on the same field as UCF, especially today. So we, as UCF, has to find a way to end this game early. We don't want to give the team no energy, no momentum, no thoughts of thinking that they even have a chance. We want to get in and get out. We're going to have to see how it goes in the second half. Well, the Gators can't get anything moving as they're going to have to punt coming right out of halftime. That is a huge stop by this UCF defense. Jeremy gets the ball. 2 passes to Brown for a decent game. 4th down, Jeremy is missed by Prodigy, who's blocked by G and Frankie. Jeremy throws a Mamba open on the sideline for a decent game, picking up the first down. You look here, the corner leads, and Jeremy finds Mamba. It's one of his favorite guys.
And I've been saying it the last couple games, somebody got to be on Mamba at all times. You cannot lose him on the field. It seems like that's exactly what the corner does right here. He gets beat and he leaves him on the side and he stays on the sideline, not following him. And because of that, it looks like everybody else is locking up. The corner's the only one that stood on the sideline. Because of that, Mamba was able to get that big pass for that play.
Jeremy's going to throw to Frank in the gap, who pitches it back to Jeremy. Jeremy gets by G Black, cuts on the sideline, runs into the end zone for the touchdown. Frankie gets a 2-point conversion, 22-0, UTF.
And the crazy thing about this play is I didn't expect to pitch at the last point of the game.
Right.
At the last point of this play, if you look, the pitch, I kind of lose it because I didn't expect the pitch to happen right then and there. But he gets it off to Jeremy. Jeremy has the opening on the other side of the field, and he's able to get into the end zone. So now they're doing trick plays on the field. Now they're extending plays on pitches. This team is finding ways to score any way that they can, sometimes even on special teams. So this team finds ways to score, and that's exactly what's happening here. For yet, I believe that this is their third touchdown of the game.
After getting the first down, Reggie throws deep to Chris, wide open in the gap, caught in the end zone for the touchdown. Matt gets the 2-point conversion, 22-8. If you look here, right here, Dirt gets caught backing up. There's no safeties in the back. Reggie goes over the top. That is a great play by Chris. You just got to remember, this is one of the best quarterbacks of all time. And eventually, if you take your foot off the pedal, he's going to step in and make a play. That is a great play by Mr. Reggie to find Chris in the end zone, 22-8.
Much needed, better late than never. Finally, they're on the board, and he finds Chris in the end zone. Chris, a veteran of Sour Factory, coming to this team and making some plays for this team, and Reggie's able to find him. One thing about Reggie is, if you find a path to the end zone, Reggie is going to find you, and that's exactly what happened. Finally, they're on the board. Hopefully, they start to get their gears going because they really need this this momentum right now.
It is 22-8. UTF gets the ball on a 4-and-out. Jeremy, the blocker from G, scrambles and throws to Josh in the gap. Josh stops running, incomplete pass. If you look here, Brown is wide open on the sideline, but Jeremy missed him. Second down, Jeremy on 4 rush, throws to Ricky in the gap. Picked off by Prodigy, who cuts to the sideline. You're going to have a block here by Reggie. Prodigy's going to run it all the way to the end zone for the touchdown. 22-14, they're back in the game.
And what a way to get back in the game. First of all, this drive, again, Jeremy is under pressure. In the first play, he was able to get some blocking by G, but he still had to scramble to extend the play. So that shows that he's looking for the defense, looking for the rush, and that's what's throwing the play off for him there. And on this one, 4 rush, he's under pressure trying to find a play here, and he's able to throw an inaccurate pass, and Prodigy's able to pick it off. I've seen him make plays like this, not as consistent as I would like, but Prodigy's able to make some big plays on defense. This is exactly what he does here. And wait for Reggie to make a huge block. First of all, Reggie's the one playing the line. He's the one putting pressure on this play, putting pressure on Jeremy, and then right as Prodigy's running, Reggie makes a big block on Jeremy to give Prodigy to run to the end zone. Reggie's trying his best to keep his team in the game any way he can. That man, the veteran, can't count him out. Wherever he's playing, he's doing what he can for his team.
Prodigy's the guy I always expect to get to the next level. He always gives me a little bit and then disappears. Like a magician. He shows me a little bit and then disappears. It's frustrating. Hopefully he can stay consistent because this guy definitely has a lot of talent. We've seen him do it in EHS playoffs. We've seen this guy make plays. He just got to be consistent. Great pick 6 there by him there. Jeremy's going to start killing the clock. The 2 runs at the 45-yard line. The G gets ejected for cursing 15 yards back. And this is going to be a 3rd and long. Huge cursing by G to get ejected.
And the thing about this is this is the drive that you need to put the game away. Now, the funny thing is, they were supposed to put the game away in that last drive, but they left Jeremy under pressure. And now you have G getting the flag, and I believe getting ejected for cursing. That is their main blocker that they lose now. So now they're starting to fall apart. Now they're starting to implode right as this Gators team start to get their rhythm going, and now they're in big trouble because they're 15 yards back for the first.
3rd and long, with blocking from Frankie, Etho, and Dirt. Jeremy throws with Randy in the gap for a decent game, picking up the first down, end of the game, UTF comes away with the win, submitting that first down, 22-14.
At the end of the game, Jeremy goes back to his old reliable receiver. You said that Mamba's his favorite receiver, but his most consistent receiver is Randy. And at the end of the day, the defense should know that the one receiver he's going to go to on a play like this is Randy. That's exactly what happens. It took 3 blockers to protect Jeremy on this play to get them the first down. Wait for Jeremy to do it, but that shows that if you give him the time, Jeremy's able to get it done. The fact that they were so falling apart so badly in the second half, it just upsets me. This game was supposed to be put away, and they didn't do that. They started dragging their feet. Jeremy's starting to yell at people on the field. They're winning, and they're looking like they're losing on the field. I don't understand that. Now, I'm just going to say this. I don't want to be too long, but I'm a huge fan of this team right now. I like the way this team is playing. I like the way Jeremy is playing, but they still have a weak foundation. And because they're keeping games like this, keeping a team like the Gators, who was struggling all first half in the game, that just shows that much more that your foundation is weak at best. They got to fix that. At the end of the day, they got the win, but I'm not satisfied with it. They got to do more to solidify wins if they want to have me to consider them one of the best teams in the league. Because right now, they're very beatable, but still, at the end of the day, they did what they had to do. I just want to see more in the next game.
I like the way that you said that you're a fan, because I'm concerned about this team.
I am too. You heard what I said.
They're one of the most shaky 4-0 teams I've ever seen in my career doing this. So inconsistent. Yes, Jeremy's playing great. I believe he got 9 touchdown passes in 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
What's the issue? Well, he also threw 5 interceptions.
Yes.
So it's funny how this team said, oh, Ramsey this. Oh, Ramsey that. Jeremy has thrown 5 interceptions and been sacked 4 times. 2 of those interceptions he threw was pick sixes.
Yeah.
So I don't blame him. I blame his line. He has one of the worst lines in the game. And I've never seen so many all-stars, blockers of the year, that can't block. The kid is constantly under pressure.
Yes.
The kid is constantly having to move in the pocket because he's not comfortable. They had to keep 3 guys to block, to pick up a first down. 3 against a team that had 7 players. This is pathetic. Now, right now, this team is 6th in scoring.
Mm-hmm.
So they're a pretty good offense. What is efficiency? They're 7th in efficiency. They score 52% of the time they get the ball. A little more than half. That's pretty decent. But if you look at defense, they're 4th in defense. They're giving up 14, 15 points a game, and they're 3rd in defensive efficiency. Teams only score 31% of the time when they play them. So they got it offensively. They're not as good as offensive as they were last year. They led the league in scoring. But they're in the top 5, and they're good efficiency. So what's the problem? Well, 5 interceptions is the problem. 4 times sacked is the problem. Most pressured quarterback in the league is the problem. They got to fix that, because when you play top teams, you're going to be in trouble. You know what I'm saying? They beat the Raiders, but they couldn't score. They ran a kickoff back. So they got to get more efficient and make sure that they're able to adjust to these problems. And they're going to have to make a decision on what they're going to do. Is Jeremy their starting quarterback going forward? Or do they deactivate Corey and allow Jeremy to be their A player for the full season so he can play defense? I think that'll be a mistake. I think he should stay just offense, keep him off of the defense. It's clear that the defense don't need him. But the question is, do you activate Corey once he's available? They drafted all the way to, they moved up 2 spots to get to the 3rd spot. And they invested a lot to get a quarterback when they could have always had Jeremy. That's my issue with them. They got to figure that out. Now, the others, go ahead. I'll let you come back before I talk to the Gators. Go ahead.
No. I said enough about UTF. So let's just get on to the next team. I already said my piece on them.
The Gators are 0-2 after coming off of an opening day win. The opening day win, they scored 40 points. In the last 2 games, they scored combined 14. That's 7 points they averaged in the last 2 games. You had 40 your first game, and in your last 2 games, you averaged 7. Both losses. This team is in trouble.
Yeah.
Shame on Ant, the guy who runs the team, the guy who put the team together, the guy who said that they'll be competing. You have your up in age starting quarterback giving in the ball and blocking. That's not why you brought him here. This guy has been to 3 championships. This guy has won quarterback of the year, was one of the oldest offensive players of the year, quarterbacks of the year. So this guy is definitely shouldn't be doing this. And it's a shame that they can't get guys to the field. Since their first game right now, the Gators are tied for 9th in scoring after scoring 40. Their efficiency, they score under 50%. They're 41% efficiency. That's 10th in the UFL. But let's talk about their pathetic defense, which is the issue with this team. Well, they're giving up 23.3 points a game. That's 13th in the UFL. And the teams are scoring 55% of the time. That's 10th in efficiency. So every time a team steps on the field, 55, more than half of the time they're scoring. So that's bad. But they're also giving up the 2nd most points in the league. Only what are you gonna say? Only the Sharks give up more, and we're not gonna get into that. That's another story for another day. That the Sharks giving up the most points in the league. But what is going on with these Gators? They need to take the G out of Gators because they don't got no game right now.
Sure.
They don't deserve that G.
Listen.
Call them the Aiders.
Listen, I'm just gonna say this. Reggie, I can't put this all on him. He didn't play the best today. He started off really slow, only was able to score 1 touchdown in this game. We're not counting the pick 6 because that was down on offense. But since that first game, they only scored 1 touchdown. They scored 40 that game, and in the last 2 games, they only scored 1 touchdown.
Right.
That is terrible for a team like the Gators. That is terrible for a quarterback like Reggie. And I think that is the problem right there. I can't put it all on the defense because the defense, they're able to make plays here and there. Other than this game, they're
the 2nd worst defense in the league.
And that is because of that first game. Even though they was able to score 40 points, I believe they gave up 36 in that game. So, yes, you're going to be one of the worst defenses in the league. The 2nd game, they gave up 2 touchdowns.
In this game, they gave up 3.
Yes. So, at the end of the day, you got to keep up with your offense. You're not going to win games on your defense. That ship done sailed. So, you got to
They're last in sacks. They can't even bring pressure.
So, at the end of the day, all of these stats are relevant. They can't sack the quarterback. They don't have a secondary that can always consistently stack up with a lot of these offensive powerhouses. So, at the end of the day, their offense has to be the name of the game.
They got to outscore you.
And I don't see that happening with who they have on the field right now. First of all, they need Rico back desperately. They need that extra target. They need that inside the 5 weapon that Rico is, that when they get to the red zone, he's probably a surefire receiver to get them into the end zone. They need that consistency. They haven't had that. So at the end of the day, somebody got to step up if Rico's not able to be here, because right now they're looking terrible.
What happened to Brandon? And they brought Cecil. These are guys that they have. You see, Hubert Lee. He went to Rep City. He failed on them.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what's going on with this team. We saw the first game, and since then, this is the team that people said that they would be. And I think that they're better than that. But right now, I don't blame their offense. I think their defense is pathetic. I hear what you're saying. You're saying that that's based on the first game, and I got what you're saying. But at the end of the day, they can't bring no pressure at all.
But my thing
it's only going to get harder. What happens when you play them?
But that's why I said But that's why
when you play these other teams.
You're right. But that's why I disagree with you. You're saying that it's their defense that's making them lose. At the end of the day, from the first game coming out, you didn't see that they were going to have a top defense that's going to lock anybody down. That's not going to happen. Not with this team. So at the end of the day, there's but so much the defense can do. They're not a good defense.
True.
That's it. So their offense has to be the name of their game. And if their offense with a quarterback like Reggie that can put up points in his sleep can't score the football, they might as well quit right now. That's all I'm saying. Because there is no path to victory at all. They have to get their offense working. They have to. Either they have, I believe that this is going to be their 4th week, so they have opportunity to pick up some guys if they want to. But they need to structure their offense. That's going to be the focus for them. Because if not, it is all she wrote. That's all I got to say about that.
All right, we're going to wrap this one up. UTF comes away with the win 22-14. We're going to be right back.